Well, hey folks, my name is Brad. Welcome to another adventure up here in the mountains of Vermont. And you might not be able to tell, but it is currently the beginning of February. There should be a foot of snow on the ground, but for some reason this year there isn't, and I am taking full advantage of it. This land that I'm standing on in the early 1800s was all clear-cut to be farmland. Since then, obviously, the forest has grown in, and there's no telling what we can find here. Things from the early 1800s or even things dropped last week. We're just gonna have to wait and find out. Now, one small added detail about today's adventure is I have added a third camera to my equipment in an attempt to capture every single target from start to finish. If you make it to the end of the video and you happen to enjoy that, let me know down in the comments section. Now, if this is one of my first videos that you've seen, I post one of these every Friday. So if you like what you see today, consider subscribing or just come on back next week. I'm gonna get my metal detector out and see what we can find today.
Over there, we've got a 82, the target right next door. Something. It's a piece of brass with some text on it. What does it say?
So I spent a little bit of time and cleaned this up, and what I just showed you is the back of it. And unfortunately, I can't show you the front because it has a person's name, exact address, street address, and city, state on there. State is Vermont, I'll tell you that much. And I'm not telling you because it's obviously somebody's home address, and it's not too far away from where I am today. And when you find a tag like this with a name and address, you know, your mind races. What could this be? How old could it be? I'm fairly certain, given the kind of land that we're on today, heavily wooded, that this is more than likely a trapper's tag. This would be attached to a leg hold trap. I don't know where the trap is. Maybe the person who owned the trap had a pocket full of these and was putting them on the traps as he was setting them. One fell out. Hard to say. I'm gonna research it. If this person still lives at this place, maybe I can give him his tag back. I don't know if that's something he would want. Kind of cool, old trapper's tag. Given the patina on the brass, I'm gonna guess 40, 50 years at the least. Could be older. This road, I know for a fact, is one of their older ones in the town. I'll keep searching. I did have a target right next to it. It was a lower tone. Maybe it's the trap. If it is, I'll show you. But if not, we're gonna move on.
Seems like we got a pretty deep 72 here. See ya. No kidding.
I know quite a bit about this forest, this place. I was so confident that the inhabitants started here, excluding Native Americans, of course. European settlement started here, middle of the 1800s. But what I just found here is a fragment of, it's either a child's shoe buckle or it is a knee buckle, and it's just a piece of it, but I double checked the hole. Check it out, there's even more of it. Now, unfortunately, and this does happen when we're in the roots, it was broken. This is an old break here, but it looks like this is a fresh break, so it would have looked like this in the ground. But now that I'm looking at it, I do believe that this is a small shoe buckle. Shoe buckle. Late 1700s, early 1800s, they started falling out of fashion. Mind blown. Never would have imagined finding anything this old here. Now my mind is racing about what else we might be able to find. You just never know. So what does that mean? It must mean that either this land was farmed much earlier, or perhaps there's another habitation out here from the late 1700s. In any case, it has me excited. Let's see what else we can find.
Well, the shoe buckle came from right here. We got a 60 right here. Oh, no kidding.
This doesn't look like much, and it isn't really. But given the proximity to where I just found that shoe buckle, I actually left and then came back again. I said, oh, that would probably be a good spot to check again, and I'm glad I did. This is the clasp for what classically we call like a garter snap. You can see it would clip onto a small button and then tighten up. We associate garters with ladies, but back in the 1800s, men's clothing had a bunch of these on them as well. Clothing was totally different back then. Multiple layers, belts, straps, suspenders, and can't say what exactly this came from, but it's a common find to find in places like this. I've also actually found them like multiple, all on a piece of steel, thin steel, flexible, that would have probably been part of a corset. This has a little bit of rust on the back, so maybe that's what this was from as well. Pretty cool. Garter or corset hook.
Yeah, 94, but it's right on the trail, so probably modern. Whoa, that is not modern. You gotta be kidding me.
Well, as I had mentioned, I'm right on a trail here. Like, it's like in the trail. I thought for sure this was gonna be modern. But as you can see, it's clearly a large green copper coin. You can see already here on the back it says 1 cent. Look at that. It's like a 1847, maybe. Can't believe it. I've dug so many modern coins today. I've started not getting excited about high tones because there are so many modern coins. But clearly, there's reason to still get excited about high tones out here. Man. Look at that. This side is beautiful. Unfortunately, the other side is going to take a little bit of work to get it looking nice, but I think we will. It's hard to beat an old US copper coin. Old silver and gold coins are nice too, but you know, these were a penny. These big old copper coins, they got smaller around the end of the 1850s, but a coin size and shape we just don't have anymore immediately connects you to the 1800s when you find one of these big old coins. Love it.
83. Seems like it was pretty shallow. Yep, there it is. That is that's actually kind of cool.
What we have here is I think, fairly modern pipe stem. Now, much older places when we find pipe stems, typically they are made out of clay. This one is, I hesitate to say it's plastic. I think it might be more of a bakelite. But you know, you have to take into consideration, while people do smoke pipes, it's an uncommon sight walking around out here in the woods. When were these most popular? I don't know. My father smoked one maybe 30, 40 years ago. I think that this filter part here is a little bit more modern. Old enough, I think, to be interesting. Old pipe stem. Kind of cool. Throw it in my bag. Let's keep searching here.
85, but it's kind of crunchy, so it's probably junk. What is that?
So for folks who may have seen my videos in the past or other metal detecting videos, when we metal detect a place that's before the Industrial Revolution, there honestly isn't a huge variety of things we typically find. Most things can be identified pretty easily. Post-industrial revolution, people were making all kinds of machines and gadgets to make life easier, and it's much more common to find things that we just have no idea what they are. And this is today's first and probably not last mystery find. We can see that it's all brass construction. It appears to be a iron pin going through this roller. And I can tell just by the casting of this brass, it is rather crude. I'm gonna guess 1800s, but I just have no idea what it is. This thing looks like a button of some kind, right? But for what? Maybe one of you out there has some idea. Looks like it was cast and then finished by hand. I think these are file marks. Let me know what you think. Sounded great, the metal detector. Thought it'd be a coin, but instead we have whatever this is.
Right, in these prickly berry bushes here, we've got an 84. It sounds beautiful. Oh, look at that, are you kidding me? Well, we know what that is.
A lot of the things that we find out here metal detecting, we assume are things people dropped and lost. Coins out of your pockets or buckles off of your shoes. But clearly, nobody dropped a doorknob accidentally, right? So how does something like this get out here? People oftentimes watch my videos and they say, wow, up there in the mountains, in the forest, those people who lived up there must have been just hard scrabbling in their log cabins, just getting by. But you have to remember that this was a farm. People lived here. There were no trees, or very few trees. And there was a farmhouse here with doorknobs as beautiful as this. Surely they dropped some things. But when that house fell or was burnt or was disassembled, a lot of stuff like this made its way into the ground. And we have to imagine a lot of the coins and buckles we found their way into the ground during that time as well. Coins that kind of fell underneath the floorboards, or buckles that were in the backs of closets maybe, got scattered and found their way out here for me to find, just like this bright white porcelain doorknob. I'm gonna have to guess this is early 1900s. How many people held on to this, turned it to open the door to their home or in their home? Best part of this hobby, getting to touch something somebody a very, very long time ago also touched. Let's keep going.
Whoa. Look at that.
The first thing you notice are the 3 rings, right? And our mind automatically goes to a mini ball, Minet ball, if you're French, from the American Civil War. But upon closer inspection, maybe you can see there's a line here, there's a line here, there's lines all the way around. I can tell that it's not that old. This is a more modern muzzle loading round, unfortunately. The mini balls that we're used to seeing from the Civil War time, pretty uncommon up here in Vermont, and are quite a bit larger than this one. This is a modern deer slug from a muzzle loader. Pretty much the same in design and purpose, except this one's probably 100 years newer, I would guess. Gets you excited when you first find it though, but you have to take into account the size, the color, where I found it. We want it to be old, but sometimes it just isn't. Modern slug.
I've got an 84, 85 here, but only in one direction, so it's probably a nail. Wow, look at that thing. That is not a nail. Wow.
Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen a suspender clip that looks like this. I thought for sure it was going to be a nail because of how it sounded. Whoa, looks like it's enameled even on the front. I thought for sure it was going to be a nail. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Wow. Looks like, I don't know, is that blue enamel, silver plate? That is impressive. Imagine two of these on a, although you know what, it might actually be a belt buckle. I take that back. I do not think that it is a suspender. I think it is a sash buckle. It would have been like this. And when I think suspenders, I think late 1800s, but sash buckles could be earlier, for sure. You can think of a sash as a soft cloth decorative belt. Wasn't necessarily holding anything up. Wow. Yeah, that is a beautiful sash buckle. Maybe one of the nicest I've found. Favorite thing I found so far today. Absolutely gorgeous. Probably Victorian. Sash buckle. Man, pays to dig all of the targets that you're not quite sure about, because most of the times they're going to be nails. But every once in a while, a display piece like this. This is going to shine up beautiful and look amazing in my case. All right, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I am calling it quits for the day. You know, some of the things that I found, I totally expected to find in an old, early 1800s farm field, but a few of the things are totally bizarre and way older than I would have expected to find today. Got them all laid out here. Let's take a look at what I found. Okay, not a bad little pile of treasures for the day. Now, most of this stuff is probably post-1900, but there are a few things here that are quite a bit older. Smoking pipe stem here, piece of flat lead, our ceramic white doorknob. Now, I have not found a home site anywhere out here, but there must be one given the doorknob. Quite a few horse tack buckles here, iron and brass, next to the, I'm going to guess, late 1700s, early 1800s, either child's or ladies' shoe buckle. This was a mind blower for me today. Wasn't expecting to find anything like that. Only one flat button. I would guess this was lost during the farming of the land, alongside a little corset hook. Not entirely sure what this is, if it's modern or not. It resembles a lamp part, but it seems like it's probably more of just an escutcheon. We have two of these strange button things. If you have any idea what that is, please let me know. Pile of modern coins. This, I believe, is a thermometer. You can see where the ball of the mercury would have been down there. This seems quite old to me. And then out front, my two favorite things for the day. The US large cent, and then what might be my favorite find of the day, this sash buckle. Beautiful, enameled, silver plated. Maybe it'll shine again if we can get some of that corrosion off. Either way, that is beautiful and another very unexpected find. All right, folks. Well, I want to thank you again for watching. Please, down in the comments section, let me know how you liked seeing the process of digging these things out of the ground from start to finish. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if it made you seasick, let me know. I'm going to start hiking on out of here. Hopefully, I'll see you next time for another new adventure up here in the mountains of Vermont.